This is Kardec Radio for Teens.
And now it's time for Message from a Teen in the Spirit World with your hosts, Mark Smith and Carol Correa.
Hello, dear friends, and welcome back to another Message from a Teen in the Spirit World. We learned from Carlos recently that one of the major purposes of spiritual education in the spiritual realm is for us all, not only Carlos, but all of us, to learn to be co-creators with God. What does that mean? That we are given many opportunities to put love into practice. And in order for us to better put love into practice in more and more useful ways, in the spiritual realm, schools are guided by a certain organization. Why? Because those spirits who have similar needs and who are in a similar level of evolution are placed together, so that together they may best understand and apply the lessons of love and service that are given to them. For example, we know from the readings of our previous weeks that Carlos has been placed in a classroom where other recently discarnate childs had been placed as well, because they have a specific spiritual profile whereby they may still be attached to their loved ones on earth, whereby they may still experience ups and downs, whereby they may still need more emotional support in order to find stability, emotional stability, as they learn to live in their true homes as immortal spirits. This sense of organization is imperative in the spiritual realm, dear friends, because as immortal spirits, we are all more and more conscientious that the gift of life is very precious. So we organize and discipline ourselves in order to best be of service, not only to us, but to others. Let us hear from Carlos how organization in the spiritual realm is a vital application of God's love. Organization. Since our cousin Antonio happened to be in the same complex, you will of course like to know how he's doing, because you might think we see each other a lot. We do in fact both live at the same institution, but the big school is divided into several different sections. As I have explained, I'm part of a small group of kids who have just recently arrived from the earth, whereas Antonio has been here longer. Also, our cousin has been a model of goodness and obedience. He was a good kid and was a source of real satisfaction to his parents. He used to cheerfully help his friends. He never trapped animals or hurt them just to be mean. He never wasted his time playing pranks. He spent a lot of time reading instructive materials, and he worked with true devotion of a well-behaved and studious boy. I was duly informed about all this by one of the teachers who visited our class when I asked him about the difference between my own situation and Antonio's. Since I'm not as spiritually advanced as he is, I can't go see him. He has earned special rights that I don't yet have. and from time to time he comes to lift my spirit and comfort me. At other times we give hugs when everybody in the complex gets together at the same time. That is, when all the boys and girls from the upper and lower level courses meet once a week on the day devoted to prayer and fellowship. Maybe you're surprised at what I'm telling you, but not all kids work and study together. In the complex, there are many separate divisions for boys and girls, except for a certain area, the most elevated of all, where boys and girls may be found together because their feelings and emotions are so highly developed. As for the vast majority of the young people staying at the complex, they get together in small or large groups according to their characteristic tendencies. There are weak, ill, uneducated, and educated boys and girls who show that they are behind, standing still, or advancing in their spiritual growth. And for each category, there is a specialized area. My group consists of recently arrived kids who have had no spiritual upbringing and who have serious problems to correct. In this regard, I don't need to remind you that I was never fond of discipline or work. I made it a point to be lazy. I used to like cake, coffee with cream, meals, bicycling, and marbles. But I never realized the price or effort that all of this cost Mom and Dad. Today, however, I envy the obedient and well-behaved children and can see their happiness when they are near me during times of rest and prayer. I see them smiling and happy when they go by me without any display of vanity or presumptuousness. And I sincerely ask Jesus to inspire me to be a hard worker and to persevere in what is good. In this way, I might someday join them in the great and blessed work of spiritual growth. Fascinating, right, dear friends? Beautiful, revealing truths displayed to us here through the moral courage of Carlos in providing us with such an honest account of himself. And this chapter helps us revisit not only our lives, but also our conception of childhood. Many times we, dear friends, when we are together with younger siblings or younger family members, or even working with younger ones than us, we have a tendency, as I do myself, to find them cute and adorable and baby talk with them, and if they don't want to do something, we may say, "Don't worry, you're so cute, I will do it for you." And with Carlos, thanks to his honesty and moral bravery, we learn the consequences of our own style of upbringing and how we as adults may influence the younger ones around us. We learn that spiritual growth is our most important goal here on earth, and that the little ones around us are in fact immortal spirits, and what we teach them or inspire them to do will allow them to reap certain consequences later on in the spiritual realm. We learn through Carlos' honest account that he wasn't very fond of discipline or work, that he would rather, when he was incarnated on earth, be served by his parents, perhaps siblings, then serve others, that he expected others to meet his needs, that he didn't quite often make the movement outwards of reaching out to others. In contrast, he really expected others to reach out to him. So he describes that all he really enjoyed doing was eating cake, playing with marbles, bicycling, and being served, without thinking of the effort, the time, the energy, and even the financial cost that his actions brought on to his other loved ones. How many times, dear friends, we, myself included, go about life like this, in a sleeping mode, where we think about what we want to have, what we need to have, how we may measure up in comparison to others, whether we look an X, Y, and Z way, whether we have X, Y, and Z fashionable object or what have you, whether we look fashionable or behave fashionable, whether we are playing the latest game, and we forget that all of these actions are temporary, that we are creating habits that absorb us within ourselves rather than taking us outwards. So let us examine ourselves on a daily basis, and if we have the moral courage, or when we have the moral courage, I vouch to do so this week with you, my dear friend. Let us exercise the muscles of the soul together and ask ourselves, from the habits which I repeat again and again on a daily basis, Monday through Monday, which habits would I consider lead me to reach out to others, and which habits, from my perspective, may do the opposite and require others to reach out to me. Let's do a little check and balance and see if we are not only receiving but also giving. Let's see if we can find a balance there, dear friends, and remembering that without charity there is no salvation. Perhaps let us together think of one or two ways in which we can give just a little more. As co-creators with our Father and Master Jesus, this is exactly what we are here for, and Carlos is leading us in a beautiful inner reflection, which may open all the more opportunities for us to illuminate our soul. So, in gratitude to Carlos and to all of the spirit mentors who lovingly guide us, let us surrender our hearts, minds, and spirits to these moments of prayer and say thank you once again and always to our loving Creator that provides us with so many materials and opportunities to enrich our souls, to remind ourselves that we are immortal spirits, and to remind ourselves that we are here to love and to serve. Let us have the moral courage, like Carlos has done, to be honest with ourselves and ask on a daily basis, how can I help more? How can I love more? How can I be more useful? How can I create new habits? We pray so that our loving mentors, educators of our souls, may provide us with the eyes to see the loving opportunities that are given to us in the school of life. And as good students, let us do our inner work so that we may learn to love more and more each day. And until we meet again, dear friends, we send you many, many loving blessings of infinite gratitude.
This has been Kardec Radio for Teens. Thank you all for listening.